I would like to learn about your experience of the natural world. During a typical week, how often do you get to experience nature?
Well, I would say that for the most part, I actually live outdoors. I often walk my dog. I go mountain biking. If I'm not in class, I'm usually just outside. I like to study outside. I go skiing on the weekends, so probably around 5, 6 hours a day I'm outside.
Do you think man made nature is authentic nature?
No, I think that like in the most basic, I think that nature has to be natural. So take like Central Park in New York, for example. I don't think that's natural. I think that nature like means that all the nature that was on the planet when it was first here, that's nature. But nature that was then moved in to somewhere where it wasn't before, that's not nature.
When do you think us humans transitioned ourselves from the natural world to the man made world?
I think that happened around the Industrial Revolution. I think that before then, like people gathered resources that they found naturally and then used them to make houses and stuff. But then we got to the point where now we then they started making steel out of stuff, and that created more pollution in the air. And that if something creates pollution in the air, I don't think it can by definition it's naturally made. So I think around the Industrial Revolution is when like humans really disconnected from the natural world they used to live in.
But with the buildings that were built, we used the resources that nature gave us. So, how's that?
I
About that?
I think that I guess in the most basic form, yes, like we did use that, but now the more and more time progresses, the more and more we start to find alternative ways to make materials. So like plastic, for example, that's not even close to naturally made. That's all chemicals. So I think the further we go into the future, I think the less we'll start using natural materials and the more we just begin making our own materials.
So, do you think man takes nature for granted?
Yeah, definitely. I think that kids these days they sit inside and play video games all day long. They don't even go outside for most of the time in summer during summer. But for me, like when I was a kid, like I always used to go outside and play, and I think that really, as time goes on, I think more and more people start taking nature for granted. And I don't think that's a good thing at all.
What is your favorite things to do when you're out experiencing nature?
I think definitely my by far favorite one would be mountain biking or skiing. I think those two things really you could just like relax yourself and like feel everything. Like when I'm skiing, for example, like I don't listen to music. I just like listen to like the sound of the snow and everything. And then when you're in the very very far back of the mountain, you can hear the birds and stuff and the wind just flying through trees. And I think it's definitely the most like natural sound and most like natural experience I think you can have.